Welcome back to the Undercut. It's episode 3, podcast number 3, and today we are doing our Formula 1 2024 predictions, aren't we?
And we're not quitting yet.
We're not quitting yet. We said that at the start of every podcast. We're not quitting yet.
There'll be a time.
There'll be a time and place for that. But first, before we talk about that, we've got some pressing matters with, of course, F1 moving to Madrid for the 2026 season. Yes. That has been locked in. What are your thoughts?
When I first heard it, I wasn't happy. But I've looked more deeper into it. And I'm intrigued, to be fair. I'm actually intrigued.
Intrigued?
Yeah, because I don't think we need another street circuit. I've had enough of street circuits. But Madrid, from what I've heard and seen, it's between a track and streets.
Yeah.
Which could dish up something quite feisty.
It could. But then I think about Miami.
Yeah.
And Miami is... It technically is a street circuit, but it's made through a parking lot. But it's also really bad.
Yeah, Miami's not amazing.
Miami's... It's good to drive on the game. The game's got... It's bussing on the game.
I'm not enjoying it on the game.
Why?
I just not.
But in real life, the races are just shocking. And the thing is, it's been like this for a while. And whenever F1 announces another street circuit, I'm like...
Yeah.
Oh, why? Like, what happened to... I'm sure some of you guys will remember as well, Herman Tilke, when he designed a lot of the tracks of the early 2000s and 90s. A lot of fan favourites, like Kuala Lumpur and Shanghai and, like, all those tracks. Got very similar, like, parts to them.
Yeah, China and Malaysia are very similar, weren't they?
It's designed by the same guy.
So similar.
But they're good racing tracks because there's fast sections to a hairpin where people can overtake. You think about China, you think about turn 5, and then obviously after the long straight there's the hairpin as well. Yeah. People can go around the outside of turn 1.
Max goes and hits Sebastian Vettel.
It was Kvyat.
No, it was Max.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, because Max was on that
in
charge.
The hairpin.
Yeah. God. No, Kvyat on Vettel was at Russia.
Oh, yeah, it was, wasn't it? Oh, no, he came up the inside at China, and then that's when Vettel was like, oh, you're like a torpedo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, those sort of tracks is what we want in F1, and we're not getting them, and it's really annoying because they keep introducing more tracks to the calendar. So like we were saying last week, we've got... Now, 24, 25, going to be 26 races on the calendar at some point within the next 10 years.
Well, yeah, you've got to add South Africa in there, haven't you?
You've got to add South Africa, and they're adding...
Or an Africa.
Or an Africa race. They're adding more USA tracks. But the issue is none of them are any good. They're all street circuits. They're not...
Well, I mean, Vegas was good. Vegas was a phenomenal race.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
Vegas was the exception.
Yeah, Texas is always good.
It's not a street circuit, though.
No, but 2 out of 3 Americas are going well.
I don't care if they're American as long as they're not a street circuit. That's all I'm bothered about at the moment.
Yeah, but they're obviously going to introduce more American tracks now, aren't they? Though?
Yeah, my question is do you think, obviously, Monaco was, for a very long time, the only street circuit we had on the calendar, and it was special because it was the only street circuit. Do you reckon we're going to get to a point where
we get sick of them?
Well, we're going to get to a point where the calendar's half and half, street circuits and normal circuits.
The money is in these big places like Madrid, isn't it?
Yeah.
For F1, so they're gonna go to these places: Miami, Vegas. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a London. I really wouldn't, and I don't want that at all.
No.
London's already hard enough to go through.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I think London's too much.
You see,
You can't.
I
do
think it's
London.
too much. It would be difficult to do, but
The only thing that could be worse than doing a London Grand Prix is a New York Grand Prix.
oh my god, oh my
That's the only thing that could be
that would
worse.
be that yeah.
It'd be butters.
That would stress me out, and I wouldn't even have to do anything.
Yeah. Just thinking about how they're going to close down
mate.
London or New York.
I thought Vegas was going to be a stretch, closing that down the strip and that.
But to be fair, it's only the strip in it that they close down.
It is, yeah.
Whereas if you do it through London, if you want it in a place that's
Close down Oxford Street.
yeah, close down Oxford Street, or close down what's it called? The park. What's the park called? Why have I forgot what the park's called?
What park? Hyde Park.
Not Hyde Park. It's not Hyde Park. It's the really big park.
Yeah, about London.
Yeah. Either way,
I'm so confused.
like close down. Like, bro, it'd be madness. Same with New York. Imagine closing down, central Manhattan for a New York Grand
Times
Prix.
Square.
Closing down Times Square because the F1 cars need to go through. Bro, it'd be incredible.
Yeah, you gotta be careful down Oxford Street. You PA gas. I bet Lewis Hamilton will be getting out calling in Selfridges halfway through a race.
Why?
He just likes his fashion, doesn't
He does. I had to think about that one for a second. I was like, why would Lewis Hamilton go to Selfridges? Is big brands in it. So, yeah, but Madrid, I'm not too bothered. I'm excited to see what it spurs up because, as we saw with Vegas, potentially it could be good, but
Well, it sounds like it's going to be the new Spanish Grand Prix with what words are being used for it in 2026.
yeah.
Which would tell me that Barcelona's going.
Barcelona's only contracted to 2026, so we'll have 1 year where Barcelona and Madrid are on the same.
Are they
calendar.
contracted on 2026
Yes.
or to 2026?
The last race is 2026, Barcelona. So we'll have one season where we can see the difference between both of them, and I reckon whichever one is better. Obviously, Madrid is already contracted.
Madrid's got to be done for.
If Barcelona holds up, they might keep with it, and then potentially revert back. But if Madrid is terrible, if Madrid ends up being better, they're gonna probably sack it off.
I would not like them to be back to back.
They won't be.
They best not be.
They won't be. They haven't got any countries back to back unless the only time they did was during COVID.
Yeah. I would expect probably Barcelona to keep where it is. Start of May, late April.
Yeah.
And I'd expect Madrid September. Probably you're looking at tail end of the European after like the Netherlands, your Monzas, all that before Singapore. Probably.
It does feel like it should be around there, doesn't it?
I reckon it'll be after Monza.
Yeah.
Monza, Madrid to Singapore.
Yeah.
That's what it'd be, I reckon.
That'd be cool. But yeah, Madrid, it's coming 2026. But let's talk about the other piece of breaking news that we got this week. It has been officially confirmed.
PayPal. No, it's
not
Cash,
PayPal.
it's Cash App,
MasterCard.
It's Cash App. It's Visa Cash App.
Visa, MasterCard, PayPal,
God
nationwide,
knows.
Halifax.
Call him banking F1.
Bank. Red banking.
Christ.
Racing banking. Yeah, so Visa, Cash App, RB Racing Team.
Do you reckon they changed the livery though? What do you reckon they have on there? Like the fucking Cash App logo?
No, I think the livery will be nice because it's going to be that bright blue with the green.
But isn't Cash App... Cash App's green, isn't it?
Yeah, but the Visa's
blue.
the main colour. Visa's the main talisman. And then, obviously, the Red Bull. So, but the thing is, right, I hate it. This is the worst name in F1 that's ever existed. It's worse than Sauber's new name, which is Steak. What does that even mean?
I could do it with a steak.
I could, but it's the betting app, innit? Steak, no,
it's not the food.
I'm calling it Sauber. I don't care. I'm calling it Sauber. I don't give a toss. It's Sauber.
I'm
it's not Steak.
I'm still calling Cash App. I'm calling Cash App.
Cash App.
No, I'll probably still call them AlphaTauri, to be honest.
But what do you refer to them as? Because, okay, here's the dilemma I have, right?
AlphaTauri.
No, okay, here's the dilemma I have. The commentators are going to have to officially refer to them, aren't they? Because obviously, they'll get sued if they don't.
Is it Visa Cash App Racing Bulls?
Well, this is what I mean. Does the RB stand for Red Bull or does it stand for Racing Bulls? Because if it stands for Red Bull, then they've basically just gone, sack it off. This is basically Red Bull 2.0.
Visa Cash App Red Bull.
Yeah. So then, do you refer to them as Visa Cash App or do you refer to them as RB, or do you refer to them as, some people are saying V-carb, which sounds like a food supplement. I heard someone say.
V-carb.
Yeah, V-carb.
Oh my god.
Or is it Racing Bulls, and then do you just call them Racing Bulls? Which I don't mind. I can get over that.
I can get over calling them Racing Bulls.
I don't like it as much as AlphaTauri, but I could get over calling them.
See, I didn't like when AlphaTauri came in, but the name grew on me a lot.
Yeah, it's a nice name, isn't it?
It is a nice
name. It does fit.
Can we just not... Why didn't we just stick with Toro Rosso, man?
Well, I'm calling him Toro Rosso. I'm not... This is what I was going to say. I'm calling him Toro Rosso. I am not calling him... It sounds petty, but for my own sanity, I'm calling him Toro Rosso. I don't give shit. No, Toro Rosso. They're Toro Rosso. It's what they are. That is their name. And you know what's funny as well? Red Bull, right, are the best team on the grid when it comes to marketing stuff. Red Bull are so good at it. Like, their marketing department was great, and like, it's how they've become such a massive worldwide brand. They do all these events. The marketing department is great. When they came into F1 and F1 begged them to buy Minardi, they bought it and called it Toro Rosso, which is like a perfect name in conjunction with Red Bull. It's got the theme. It's cool. They have the Red Bull colours, but slightly different. It was perfect.
Mm.
And then obviously it still acts as a junior car. Now they've just sacked that off and said, you know what? Title sponsors. That's the title sponsor car. And I hate it. Yeah.
I mean,
that's my rant over.
Yeah, you were very passionate about
I am. I'm very passionate. I could say the same about Steak Sauber, but at least they're still called Sauber, so, you know, it's alright.
Well, they're just using a name now on the until Audi.
Yeah. It's more of like an interim thing, innit? Until Audi come, so...
You don't know how long bloody Visa's staying.
I hope not for long. Either way, calling them Toro Rosso.
Fair enough.
Any more thoughts?
No. No, you made your rant.
Visa Cash App RB.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
No, you're not happy with it. We're not happy with it.
No.
I'm starting a petition.
Oh, well, that's depressing.
Right, okay, let's move on to... So, today, F1 2024 predictions.
Oh, no.
This is where it gets juicy. So, first we're going to go through the drivers, and then the constructors, then we've got a few questions.
Before we start,
yes,
make sure you subscribe. Right?
Make sure you subscribe to
the channel. We need subscribers, man.
We do. We do.
And views.
Yeah. Subscribe to the channel before we do go through these predictions. It greatly helps us out.
Get on board with our content before these live streams come in.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to be streaming every single race, so...
We want your opinions.
We do. Even though Jack will claim he's alright. Don't listen to him.
They are right.
Let's go through the drivers then. So we're going to list the drivers, obviously...
20 to 1.
20 to 1. Whose phone's that? Is that my phone?
Mate, your phone's in your hand.
Oh, shit, yeah. Oh, it's not my phone.
It's in your hand.
Okay, we're going 20 to 1.
20 to 1.
Right, okay.
Go on. You start.
I'll start, okay. So, in 20... Actually, I haven't got 20 drivers. I've got 21 drivers.
Have you brought in like a Liam Lawson?
So, 21st... so, I'll say 21st and 20th, because then we'll be on the same one.
Right, okay.
21st, I've got Logan Sargent. I don't think
you've got rid of Logan.
No, I haven't got rid of Logan.
Oh, okay.
I think he'll stay till the end of the season, but I don't think he'll perform at all. Wow. And in 20th, I've got Magnussen.
Okay, I've got Magnussen in 20th.
Alright.
I would not be surprised if he...
No,
this was his last year.
He's going to have a poor season, isn't he?
He's going to have
I think Haas overall will have a poor season.
Haas will have a pretty poor season, but Magnussen will be the standout.
Yeah.
I reckon.
19th place.
19th.
I've gone with Zhou Guanyu.
I've gone with Joe on you.
Have you? Oh, look at this. What's going on here?
We did this separately.
We did do this separately.
Right. Well, this is not going to be great if we have all the same now,
Imagine. Why have you put Joe there? Because in the first podcast we were talking about Joe, and you said you rated him, and I said I didn't. But we've ended up putting him in the same place.
I do rate Joe. However, I've got a gut feel like these are subject to change after pre-season. By the way,
these are pre-testing.
These
predictions.
I've gone off a gut feeling of where I reckon the cars are gonna line up in performance this year.
Right.
And I have gone slightly biased towards my favourites as well.
Yeah. Well, you're bound to, aren't you?
But I've just got a feeling that stakes Alba. That's gonna be weird to keep saying. It's just not gonna be amazing.
No.
I think it'll have a few good races, but I just feel like they're gonna be again. Maybe on the fringes of points, but they just won't pick up points consistently. Whereas I feel like other teams might. You
were saying as well not too long ago that they're the type of team that is always 11th, 12th.
They are 11th to 14th, not a 8th to 10th.
They can't break into the early points.
It seems a bit. Yeah, so that's why Joe's 19th for me. Unfortunately,
I'd say the same reason for me as well. That's the same reason for me. I don't think he's a decent driver, but he's not anywhere near Bottas's capability, in my opinion. And I think if one driver is going to get points for for Sauber, it's going to be Bottas.
Yeah.
18th.
Hülkenberg.
Bro, I've gone with Nico Hülkenberg.
Oh my god.
Bro, what's going on? Well, I've got 21 drivers, so at some point it will change, but...
To be fair, I reckon, it's quite obvious with Haas.
Yeah.
Being down there, isn't it? Got rid of Gunther. The car was just not it last year. I don't see him turning it round. It's pretty easy to put their drivers down there in the bottom 3-4.
Yeah. Yeah, same for me. I think Hülkenberg will outscore Magnussen on a few occasions when they do score points, but I don't think Haas will make any strides past 18th place, in my opinion, for the drivers. 17th?
Sticking to my guns.
Go on then.
Alex Albon.
No! Come on!
Stick to my guns. I said it last week. I'm keeping to it this week. Don't get me wrong. Albon's a class driver. Don't get me wrong.
Bro.
But I've got to stick to I've got to stick to my word.
Oh.
It's a matter of principle at this point.
So what you're saying is you've thought it over, realised you fucked up, but you can't go back on your word. So you oh no.
Yeah, no, we gotta do it.
So you put Albon 17th.
Yeah, but I also think that Williams isn't going to be a phenomenal car this year.
You don't think so?
No, I think that Williams is either going to be 15th to last or scraping the odd point here and there.
Uh-huh.
That's what they'll be. They won't be a fringe team. They'll be either a back runner or on the points a little bit.
So what they were this year?
Yeah.
So I agree. I think their car will be slightly better. I think it'll be more on the...
track-dependent car, I reckon.
Yes. I think it'll be more on the fringes of being with Alpine. But I reckon they won't make strides forward only because I don't think Logan Sargent is good enough.
I think some days it'll be Haas. And then some days it would be up there with... well, ahead of Stroll.
Speaking of Stroll, I put Stroll in 17th.
Jesus Christ. Is that because he's bad, or do you think Aston Martin are not making a good car?
Both. I think Aston Martin fall down the pecking order. I think it was a flash in the pan 2023 for him.
I'm not sure they'll fall down that much.
I think they will, and I think Stroll will really struggle. I think he will really, really struggle. His confidence has been on the floor after this season. after Alonso wiped the floor with him. I think Fernando will still do well when, obviously, we'll come on to that, but I think Stroll will really struggle. I don't think he'll score many points. Because the thing is, if Aston Martin dropped down anywhere from where they were, Stroll was only getting, 8th, 9th, 10th anyway, wasn't he? By the end of the season. If they drop behind Alpine, even if they just drop behind Alpine, right? Stroll's going to be 11th, 12th, 13th most races, isn't he? So the likelihood that he picks up enough points to finish ahead of everyone else I'm going to talk about is, I think, unlikely. I think he's going to struggle, personally.
I can see it. I think he'll do a little bit better than 17th, though. Although I hate the guy. Kind of want it to be yours now.
Right, 16th place.
Sargent.
So you've okay. To be fair to you, then, at least you've gone with Sargent and Albon close.
No, I had to go with them close.
yeah.
There'll be like a point.
People already commented on the short that we posted about your Sargent takes, saying like, "Nah, mate, you're a bit deluded there."
Allow it. Hey, there'll be a point in it, you know.
So Albon will dominate the whole season, then Sargent will win one race and be 1 point ahead.
No. Sargent's gonna be ahead of Albon on head-to-heads.
Okay, right. Okay.
That's why he's got to be ahead in constructors. There.
16th, I've gone with Bottas.
Okay.
Same reason as before. I think Sauber will struggle. But
yeah.
But like, you know,
that's fair.
I think he'll do better than Joe.
15th.
Liam Lawson.
So you brought Liam Lawson in. Visa.
He doesn't know. Where have I brought Liam Lawson in? I brought Liam Lawson into Visa Cash Up RB, aka Toro Rosso.
Perez is going mid-season.
Because I think I'll have to explain later, because I can't explain it now because you don't know where I've put Checo, Daniel, Yuki.
That's it.
So I'll have to explain later what I've done and my
bold
reasoning.
Call. I think we're just going to see the same drivers again over here.
You think so?
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, you were the one that... How has this happened, right?
I think there'll be rumours, but I just don't think anyone's going to have the bollocks to do it.
I've got one reason why I think it will happen.
There's only one driver that I can see it happening.
Yeah. But I have... Okay, right. You get... Who's 15th for you?
Bottas.
Alright, so you put Bottas very close to where I put him.
Yeah, I think Bottas is a driver that, if a track suits him and he's happy with the car, he'll pick up points. He will get some points in there.
He'll be scraping the fringes of the top 10. Yeah.
Most of the time, yeah.
14th?
Stroll.
Alright, so you put Stroll 14th. So it's not that far from where I put him.
No, I didn't put him as far down as you, but he's shit.
There could be a couple of points in that from 14th to 17th. So
I think it could be quite a close year. Like you're gonna have, I think you might have 2 or maybe 3 separate packs. You'll probably have your bottom load, a few mids, all quite close, and then your top lot.
Yeah,
I think it'd be quite close in packs.
Mhm. I put Esteban Ocon 14th for Alpine.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think he'll be just an average year for Ocon. I don't think he'll do anything too spectacular. I don't think he'll do anything too
if Alpine
bad.
Provide a car, he's been at that team for what you would have thought that he should be team leader, and he's not ahead of Gasly. Does it get to a point where he's not ahead of his teammate? He's still 14th. Does it get to a point where Alpine need to start to consider different drivers?
No, I don't think so. Only because the way I view Ocon is that he's a good enough driver that he will consistently get you results. He will. You put him in any car, he will.
I don't think he'll consist. I think he just comes up on the odd race to get good points.
That's what you need, though.
And then he lives off that for about 5 races.
Yeah, that's what you need, though.
Like, he gets a good podium at Monaco. What did he do after that? I can't remember.
He finished with quite a few points. He wasn't too bad.
He wasn't awful, but I just feel like he has a flash. Everyone's on a hype. He was done well, blah, blah, blah. Next 5 races, he just lives off it.
That's fair enough. I think it'd just be an average season for Ocon. Who have you put 14th?
Stroll was
14, you said Stroll. Yeah. 13th then.
Ocon.
So there we go. That's what we were talking about. Fair enough. I've put Alex Albon. I think he'll have an amazing season.
Do you want to just swap Albon and Sargent?
No, absolutely not.
No.
Now, everyone's going to be like, well, you put Albon 13th and Sargent 21st, so what have you done there?
You just... This is Sargent hate, you know what?
It's not.
Get on at him, because this is Sargent.
It's not Sargent hate. I think Sargent will score a few points. I think that
Is it because he's the only American?
Yes. No. I think that pack 12th to 21st will be quite close. Within 50 points. Within 50 points easily.
It will be close.
So I think Albon will obviously be consistent enough on the fringes of the points to pick up enough to get so far at the top of that pecking order that it looks like he's absolutely dominated Stroll. When really he probably won't. They might be close some races. In fact, Sargent might outscore him in some races. But I don't think over the course of a 20-odd race season he is going to be anywhere near to Albon by the end.
Yeah, he will.
No.
Yep.
So 13th Alex Albon for me. Who's yours?
I said Ocon, man.
Oh shit, yeah.
You need to
12th.
need to click on.
Sorry, 12th.
Click on. You go 12th because you'll just ask me anyway at the end of it. Like, what's your 12th?
Pierre Gasly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've gone with Yuki.
Ooh, Yuki. Okay.
No, it's difficult because...
So you think Daniel will finish ahead of Yuki?
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah. It's difficult for me.
Yeah.
Because I know all these rumours and everything that's going on around Visa and Red Bull.
Visa cash up.
However, I think the car will be better.
Yeah.
This year. However, I don't think they'll nail it straight off. Obviously, you've got all these rumours that they're using all of Red Bull's old stuff.
Yeah.
However, it's old.
So you think teams will make strides forward enough for it to not?
Yes. I think they'll make strides forward enough this season. But as the seasons go on, AlphaTauri, Visa, whatever the fuck they're called.
Visa Alfa Rosso.
Will have more there to make bigger leaps forward. I just don't think we'll see a massive leap this year yet. I think we'll see a step forward, but not a jump.
Uh-huh. All right, yeah, that's fair enough. I agree. So you put Yuki 12th. Because in 11th, I put Daniel Ricciardo.
Ooh.
For the same reasons, yeah, I think they will be the 5th quickest team, only because they're using a lot of parts from last year's Red Bull.
I don't know if they'll be fit. I reckon they'll be joint 5th.
I think they'll...
I think it'll be between them and... I think it'd be close between them, Aston Martin, and Alpine.
They'll have a I need to change one around actually. They'll have an Alpine. I think they'll be in the battle with Alpine, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. But I think it'll be so close. I think they'll just all be taking points off each other. That 11th to 21st will all be taking points off each other constantly.
Oh god, yeah.
And I think it'd be so close, especially between Alpine and Toro Rosso, Visa, AlphaTauri, Alpha, yeah, team. But yeah, who have you got in 11th?
Pierre Gasly.
All right,
so
so
again, like we've gone all roughly the same, one up, one down, roughly, haven't we?
Yeah,
all the way.
We've agreed mostly.
We have. You can see who's where.
Yeah.
It's difficult because we've not seen testing, we've not seen any form of car performance. This is just going off what their performances last year, what the cars that we think that they'll bring. News,
obviously AlphaTauri moving to Milton Keynes and
so it's a difficult one to do.
Yeah,
but it's fun. I enjoy it.
It is fun. We'll obviously do testing after testing,
updated ones,
and those will be. I think those will heavily disagree on, because I think obviously then you've got the element of
you can never see a car's true potential in testing.
You can't. This is why I think we'll disagree, because I think one of us will go closer to their performance in testing for some of the cars. Some of us, I think, will think they'll fall off.
Yes.
Yeah. 10th place.
Danny Rick.
Oh, so we've basically just done the same list, bar Liam Lawson, who I've threw in that mid pack.
Yeah, Liam Lawson's a bit of a throw in, isn't he?
Yeah.
No, but I think Danny Rick would be. I don't know. I think he's gonna have a slow start this year. Get a feeling, but I think we might see a Danny Rick of old. And then I would not be surprised to get announced. Maybe in Vegas, I reckon. It just seems like a Danny Rick, a Red Bull thing to do. Vegas. Danny Rick joins Red Bull again. At the end of the year. I think he'll have a good year.
I think he'll have a decent year, but I don't think he's going to be... sorry to all the Danny Rick fans out there.
I'm a Danny Rick fan.
So sorry to you.
How can you hate that smile, man?
I love him so much. He's great. But I don't think Danny Rick will have the year that everyone thinks he will, because I think I put him 11th, right?
Yeah.
So I think, yeah. And I haven't said Yuki yet. So I think Yuki will finish ahead of Danny Rick.
Well, yeah. Obviously, seeing as you have not said him yet.
Yes. So here's where my Red Bull conundrum comes in. Because in 10th place, I've put Checo Perez.
Because Yuki in the Red Bull.
I personally...
That's a recipe for disaster.
Hear me out. I think Checo Perez... Okay, so here's the thing. I think this year will be mad close. Right?
I think it could be a close year, yeah.
I think McLaren will be closer to Red Bull. I think Mercedes will be closer to Red Bull. I think Ferrari will be about on the fringes, where they were last year, right? That's my prediction anyway, or it's at least what I'm hoping for. So, going with that, where do we see ourselves? Well, if they keep developing that car in the direction of Max's driving style, Checo will continue to struggle, as we saw at the end of last season, right? He will. Therefore, I think halfway through the season, he is going to be dropped because Red Bull are going to need to secure the Constructors' Championship, right?
Yeah.
It's not like last year where he could still pick up second in the drivers, even though Red Bull are miles ahead. This time, I think it's going to be different. But guess what? I think halfway through the season, they're going to have to pick between Yuki Tsunoda or Daniel Ricciardo. And Yuki Tsunoda, I think, will be having a better season than Daniel Ricciardo.
That's fair.
So that maybe not the best choice for Red Bull. Maybe they don't want to pick Yuki and put him in that Red Bull. But I think they're going to have to.
I don't know.
Therefore, I think Yuki Tsunoda goes to Red Bull mid-season. And that's why Checo is 10th, because he's scored enough points to kind of be...
You see, I like it
there.
Because I am a heavy advocate of Checo not being in that car.
You are.
However, I feel like it's going to be different. I don't think Checo's going to perform this year. I don't. But I do think because Red Bull get rid of their drivers, but all their drivers have been young. I've just got a different feeling because Perez is that more experienced. I think they want Danny to have a full year and put him in there. I think Daniel Ricciardo is their first choice to replace Perez, and I think that's in their minds straight away now.
I think it is now.
But they don't want. I don't think they'll want Yuki because Yuki's hot-headed, shouts at anyone and everyone on the radio, and I don't think Christian Horner wants to deal with that.
Imagine Yuki dive bombing Max Verstappen into the first corner.
He would do that. He doesn't care, which is good for us.
Yeah,
I'd love that. But I don't think Red Bull want that because Yuki's a wild card, isn't he?
I agree. That's the only thing in my mind that doubts my prediction here. But I think Daniel, as much as I want him to have a good season, I don't think he'll have as good a season as people are making out him to have. And I think that'll force their hand. Obviously, if I turn out to be wrong and Checo underperforms and Daniel's having a great season, then by all means, Daniel will straight away go in that seat because I think Red Bull's mindset, as you were saying, I think at the moment is they want Daniel to replace Checo.
Well, again, that's what's good about pre-season, that we get to have a feel as to where the drivers are as well over winter, like
Yeah, exactly.
how they are, over winter, and see what they're like in the car. See who moans, see who doesn't.
Meh. Who have you put? Have I already asked you about 10th?
Yeah, that was Ricciardo.
Okay.
The conversation we've just been having for the last 5-10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, 9th.
I've gone with Piastri.
Ooh, okay.
Not to do. I think I still think this will be close. Again, I don't know if it'll be 11th down to 20th or 21st in your case. That'd be close. I think it would be more of a 14th down to 20th, 15th down to 20th in a pack that's close. And you're looking at your 13th up to maybe your 8th being close.
Yeah.
And then your top lot just a little bit ahead.
Yeah.
So I do think it'll all be close, with Piastri being in more of that mid pack instead of the top lot. Only because, don't get me wrong, I loved Piastri last year.
Yeah.
I hope he has a great year again this year.
Yeah.
But my issues when I saw Piastri, when it's a track that he knows and he likes, he'll be up there with Norris.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, he's fighting in the scraps, not even picking up fringe points. Like, look at Texas. What happened in Texas?
Yeah, McLaren fell off though, didn't they? They had
No, because not in Texas. Norris is battling for first, whereas Piastri is down in 14th.
McLaren had problems with the car. Oh wait, no, that wasn't Texas. That was
in
Mexico,
Texas.
wasn't it?
Mm.
Mexico, they had problems with it.
Do you see what I don't?
Yeah, he's still inexperienced though,
Exactly.
isn't he?
That's the thing. I'm not hating on Piastri. I love him, but
No.
I just think that little bit inexperience will still shine through this year.
Yeah.
But I think that's easily enough for him to stay in the car, and I hope he does, because he's a good driver. And I think gain a bit more experience this year, and I'll probably boost him up for next year.
Fair enough. I've gone with Fernando Alonso.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think Aston Martin will be fighting Alpine, but I don't think. I think Stroll will let the side down. I think Fernando will do his magic as he always does, and he'll be there.
Yeah.
Who have you put 9th? Have I already asked you that? Shit. I did, yeah. You said Oscar.
Yeah.
8th.
Why-
Sorry. Bro, I forget.
You go first.
8th, I've gone with Yuki Tsunoda. Half
Yuki's
in-
high then.
half in the Visa Cash app,
You've got
half in the Red Bull.
You've got high expectations for Yuki this year then.
I think he'll surprise us.
I hope he has a good year. I like Yuki. He's a fun driver.
Yeah, he's got a trajectory that is. So I look at some of the drivers that people are saying, maybe they're good enough, maybe they're not. Logan Sargent, Zhou Guan Yu, examples. They've kind of got plateaued trajectories at the moment. Logan maybe is a bit on the up at the end of Abu Dhabi, but I think Yuki every single season improve, and I think
Kind of like a Norris.
kind of like a Norris. Yeah, not as good as Norris, but
No.
he's
He's
up there.
You can see a steady progression every year. can't
yeah,
you?
yeah. Yuki, I can see,
Sorting his head out.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. John, are you going to ask me about my 8th? Or you just
I
forget
thought
about
you
that?
would say. I thought you already said.
Oh,
No, yeah. What's your 8th? What's your 8th?
It's Fernando.
All right. Okay.
So,
yeah.
It's around you. Same sort of idea. I don't think he'll be up there again this year. I don't think Aston Martin will provide a car for that this year. But I think he'd be at the top of your mid-pack.
He'll be there.
Yeah.
An odd podium here and there, sort of thing.
And then retire.
You think he'll retire?
I hope he does.
Bloody hell! You got something against Alonso.
I've not got something against it. I think what's annoying me is the hype that everyone puts around him.
It's because he's good. Last season proved it.
He had a good year, but I don't think he's phenomenal.
You deluded.
Yeah, I am. But it's my opinion.
7th.
And what?
I've
7th.
gone Oscar Piastri.
Oh yeah, so okay.
I think McLaren will be there.
McLaren will. You think similar to me though? He's not going to be.
I think his experience will
let
him down against the likes
Norris
of
and everyone else.
Norris and the rest of the Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull drivers.
Yeah.
But he will be there. He will be fighting for podiums regularly, and I think he'll have a good season.
I think he'll pick up a podium.
I think we'll see that gradual trajectory like Norris did. I think he'll be on the up this year.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I've gone with Sainz.
Oh, Carlos. Why? What's happened to your boy?
Now,
Let me say that.
it's Carlos next for you.
Yeah.
7th, Carlos. I think I've just got in my head Ferrari and Carlos in particular. Might have a bit of a shaky year in terms of your DNFs, your reliability, and everything like that.
Ferrari strategy.
Maybe. I don't know. I've just got this gut feeling. I always go with my gut. He's just gonna be a bit. Like, I think it's gonna be close from 7th up to 4th.
Yeah.
Or 3rd. But I think Carlos would be at the tail end of it.
That's fair enough. I've sort of thought the same. I put Carlos in 6th.
So do you think that there will be a gap between Oscar and Carlos?
Not a big gap.
No, but like a gap to say Carlos is in the front pack, Oscar's a little bit behind the front pack. Is that what you would?
I think I'd...
Because for me, the front pack starts at Carlos. For me.
Yes, the front pack starts at Carlos for me as well.
So Alonso is an 8th for me, and he's not part of that front pack.
Yes. I think Yuki's in that front pack, but...
Do you think Yuki's in the front pack?
But I think he's only...
But is he in that because he's in the Red Bull?
Yes. He's 8th because he had half season and a visa cash up.
Right, okay.
So can't be asked with that. Toro Rosso.
So you think half a year Yuki's going to do well in that Red Bull then?
Yeah, I think he'll do alright. I think he'll be fighting around the
do you reckon he
lower
picks up
end.
Some podiums?
Yeah, I think he does. I think he'll be fighting Oscar mostly, but I think he'll break into that Carlos.
Okay.
Yeah, the edge of that. But I put Carlos 6 for the same reason. I don't think Ferrari... I've got the gut feeling as well. I don't know why, but I think if anyone's going to challenge Red Bull, I don't see it being Ferrari. You said you do, though.
I do see it
Last
being
podcast.
Ferrari. However, I have seen some more news this week.
Is it swayed you?
In around the cars, and I have been swayed a little bit from what I've been reading and seeing.
What's the news?
Allow it.
What was the news?
I've put it. I've been reading up more on Mercedes this year.
Okay. So you've kind of seen,
and I'm getting a little bubble.
He's got a little bit excited.
I've got a fizz.
He's got a fizz.
Yes.
His Ferrari hype has dissipated and the Mercedes has started.
See, with Ferrari, I get so hyped about them.
Yeah.
But then there's a thing in the back of my head, and I'm like, they're gonna fuck it up again.
Yeah.
They always do.
They always do.
So if I don't let myself get too hyped about it, they can never let me down.
Yeah, fair enough.
They can only do better.
That's true. So who have you got in 6th then?
If we got in 6th. Checo Perez.
Oh, okay. So he won't do too badly.
It is bad for the Red Bull, let's be honest.
Yeah. But it's not as poor as I've put him.
But I have got a very shake-up top 7. And I think it's going to be a great battle between them all.
Yeah.
But Perez ain't the driver.
No.
For Red Bull to have 1-2's solid pairing. That's it. Like, you look at when Mercedes had Lewis and Valtteri. You could clearly see Bottas was good enough to pick up your thirds, your seconds. Perez ain't that. And then Max and Lewis are obviously your top.
I think, yeah. I think for 2021 and 2022, Perez worked, even if he wasn't...
No, he was more of a 4th, 5th place, though. Still, Bottas.
Yeah.
Bottas, you went into a race, you were thinking, oh, okay, Lewis will win this, but you know Bottas will be second or third.
Yeah.
You go into a race with Perez and Max, you know, Max is going to win this. But where's Perez going to be?
Yeah.
Always the question is, where is Perez going to be? And that is not good if you've got a dominant car.
Yeah, because if something happens to Max...
if something happens to Max,
Perez
is Perez going to be your race winner?
Yeah.
No.
I think Perez worked for 2021 and 2022, even though he wasn't second all the time, and he was kind of 4th, 5th, because I think Red Bull then weren't focusing too heavily on the Constructors' Championship. No. Remember 2021, 2022?
It was literally pure.
It was Max versus Lewis. They were like, okay, Mercedes have definitely wrapped the Constructors up, but we need to win this Drivers with Max.
Yeah, it was.
And so Checo not always
Perez
being
worked
there.
well in that.
Yeah, he works well because he was there to pick up the points. The pressure wasn't on him, but he was there to consistently pick up the points when they needed him to. 2022 was the same. I think if they started out as they did at the end of the season, I think it might have been a different story. But at the start of the season, like we saw in 2021, it was Max versus Charles, and they needed to push Max to become the Drivers' Champion. 2023, we maybe started to see a bit the cracks. If Perez doesn't perform and the cars are a little bit closer, Red Bull now know they have the potential to win the Constructors year in, year out. They need Perez to be there. And if they're not, and if the cars are closer to him, like McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes...
He's under pressure.
He's under pressure now, yeah. Especially after the scrutiny of last season.
Who's your 6th?
See, you've done it now. I already said Carlos.
Oh, did you do that first?
Yeah.
Oh, to be fair, we were on about my car since 7th.
On to 5th. I've gone with George Russell.
Oh, you've put George further down than me, and I hate George.
Really?
Yeah, I've got Norris.
What? You've got Lando Norris?
Yeah, I don't think that McLaren... I think you're going to have a McLaren and Ferrari, and then Mercedes and Red Bull will be further up. And I think that McLaren is going to go through a patch again. I've just got a feeling it's going to be again. That them first 3-4 races, they're going to be fringe points.
You think so?
I've just got a feeling. And I hate having that feeling. But... They do it every year now. Like, I don't know, they just never seem to turn up with a car. And I think that's what's going to let Norris down. And I think Mercedes and Ferrari will have a slightly better car than McLaren at the start, and then McLaren might overtake. I think it could be a good battle between them, but I just feel like, from what I've seen from Mercedes, from what I expect, I think that they'll be a step in front this year. Same with Red Bull.
That's fair enough. However,
although it's going to be close again. No, I'm not saying Norris is going to be like 50 points behind 4th or whatever. It's a matter of inside 10 points.
Yeah, I think this will be McLaren's year. I think this is where they don't get it wrong at the start. I think this is the one.
I hope you're bloody right, but
I think this is the one. I believe I put George 5th just because I didn't know where to put him. Like, I think
I can tell you where to put him.
I think he's
off the grid.
No, to be fair to George, I think he's a good driver. I don't think he'll beat Lewis.
No,
but
no chance.
I think he'll score enough points. You score podiums, might score a win. I think he'll finish 5th. Who's your 4th?
George.
Fair enough. I've put Charles Leclerc.
Okay, so we both agree Charles is...
Yeah, he's got that extra something special, doesn't he, Charles?
He does, Charles. Especially in quali, I feel.
Yeah.
He can pull a lap out, can't he, Charles?
Pull a bloody lap. Yeah. How many poles did he have last season? Was it like 5? Or something? Like, in that Red Bull dominance. Like, yeah, the race pace wasn't there for the Ferrari.
He had Baku. Vegas.
There was more. There was a few sprint races as well that he had pole on.
Yeah.
What
else was there?
I don't know. There was a few more.
Anyway, he got poles.
He's one that pace is good.
Hmm.
One that pace is good.
Although, it wasn't Carlos on pole at Monza, or was that Charles?
I don't remember. There's so much happened. There's too many races nowadays. Can't remember half of them. Who have you put third then, getting into this podium spots? You put Charles third.
I did put Charles third. Only because he has that little something special about him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's just got that little... He's just got a mistake in him, which annoys me about Charles, but he's got the pace to easily be up there with the likes of Max and Lewis.
You think if Ferrari pulls something out of the bag, it will be Charles to pick it up?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. Third place, I've gone with Sir Lewis Hamilton. Deluded. I think he'll win a few races this year.
No, I think he will, for sure.
I think he'll score a lot of podiums. I think he'll show his consistency, his class. I think he'll show how good of a driver. I think he'll prove the doubters wrong again for another year running by not being in the best car. But yeah, I just think he's. I just think the battle. I think the battle will be close. But I think he will be in that title battle halfway through the season. But I don't think by the end he will be anywhere near who I've put in first place.
Anywhere near the first place.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I think he'll be battling for second, but I think we'll see another.
Do you reckon you'll have a Mercedes drop off?
Not a Mercedes drop off, a Red Bull improvement, like how we did in 2022, where it was Charles and Max till about halfway through the season, and then the Red Bull just went.
Okay.
That's how I personally think it'll go.
Right. What about second then?
Where have you put second?
I've just asked you.
If you put I've put Lando Norris in second place.
I guess that one.
Lando, fantastic driver. I think that McLaren will be up there, and I think the trajectory for Lando is to be this. I think I couldn't put him anywhere other than second because I think his trajectory is up and up and up and up.
I agree. I fully agree, and I hope Lando is up there. I don't know. I've just got a niggly feeling about that McLaren this year.
Yeah, you do. Well, you put him fourth, didn't you? Or fifth? Fifth.
So I think it's a great year.
Okay, so you're putting off telling me who's in second place here.
Second, I've gone with
No, come on.
Super Max.
No, you haven't.
Super Max.
Stop it. No.
I have.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm never backing down.
Oh.
Come on, I want a year. I want 2021 back, and I want Lewis revenge. That's what I want.
It's not gonna happen.
It will.
It's not happening.
It will if you believe. I believe. Come on.
Well, everyone knows I put Max Verstappen first.
And everyone knows I put Sir Lewis Hamilton first.
Yeah. I think
the greatest driver on the grid, by the way.
He's the greatest driver of all time.
And on the grid. Mate,
I struggle.
I think we're going to see a level of Lewis Hamilton of 2019, 2020. I think he's going to come back. I'm hoping, anyway, that what I'm seeing from Mercedes, what I'm hearing, because with Mercedes, they've changed the engine, they've changed the gearbox, they've changed the shape of the car, they've developed the car and moved it around to suit Lewis more. They've gone with what Lewis has suggested. I just feel like they're really pushing this car for it to be a Lewis car. And if they've got it right, I don't think anyone will get in Lewis's way this year.
Now, here's the thing. I do agree. Okay. The only thing that stops me from going Lewis Hamilton is going to win his 8th championship, and I think he'll be within contention partially through the season. I don't doubt that if Mercedes get it right. I just think that Mercedes is a little bit too behind because I think they've changed philosophies halfway through the new regulations, and I think that Mercedes isn't quite ready to challenge the Red Bull over the course of a season. Now, If Mercedes had got it right first time, and they were on, they were consistently bringing upgrades that were improving the package that they have now, maybe we'd be sat here having a different conversation. Maybe Hamilton finished second last year in the driver's standings above Checo because the Mercedes was better. Who knows? But I don't know. I don't see it at this point in time as of right now.
No, I'm going for it. Don't care.
All right, okay.
You're not changing my mind.
Right, well, that's what driver's standings. So I've gone Max World Champion, you've got Lewis Hamilton World Champion, and yeah.
Yep.
Constructors Championships then. Let's fire through
GOAT.
these. He is the GOAT, yeah, but I don't think he'll beat Max.
Yeah,
Or Lando, I think he'll finish below Lando as well, actually, sure.
Nope.
Constructors Championships. Let's power through these really quick.
These are going to be super quick. I think we've got roughly the same.
I think we do, yeah. I mean, you go. We'll just fire them off. So you go, I'll go.
10th,
Haas,
Williams,
Sauber, Williams,
Alpine,
Aston Martin,
Visa Cash App,
Alpine,
Aston Martin,
Visa Cash App.
Yeah, right. McLaren,
Ferrari, McLaren,
Red Bull,
Mercedes, Red Bull. There you go. Now, Mercedes and Red Bull are intertwined for me. I almost put Mercedes first because of the whole switching out. But when I thought about it...
You think Max will be that far ahead?
Max will be that far ahead. Also, I think Yuki... I think it looks bad when you go on it and you see both Red Bull drivers 8th and 10th. But I think Checo will accumulate enough points in the first half of the season and Yuki will push that gap to where it needs to be by the end. And I think Max will also have a great season, so I think Red Bull will be first.
You see, I know in the back of my head that the likelihood is it's going to be a Max again.
I think everyone knows.
In the back of my head, and in my heart and my gut, it's going to be a Lewis.
My heart wants to say Lewis or Lando wins the championship. But in my head, it's Max. 100%.
I feel... I think Max fans like your list. F1 fans want my list.
I want your list. I want
my list is interesting.
Yes.
In terms of...
Mine's interesting.
Yours is very interesting in the mid-pack.
My Red Bull
Your mid-pack, but...
I'd love to see Yuki in a Red Bull.
Oh my god.
Oh, bro, I'd love to see Yuki in a Red Bull.
Helmet and Yuki go at each other.
Mate, that'd be funny,
phenomenal.
wouldn't it? Imagine.
I'd put that on Drive to Survive at least. No, but like, I think you just want to see Max challenged.
I do as well, yeah.
And if there's one driver that can 100% challenge Max Verstappen, and I think Helmut was getting at this last year. I think Horner was. They get worried about Hamilton.
You would be worried about Hamilton. You would.
I think when you see a Hamilton on a resurgence, they get worried. You get worried about a Lewis Hamilton coming up.
You do.
So, I don't know. I just feel like you just want 2021 back, don't we?
Yeah, we all want 2021 back.
And we want justice for Hamilton.
Justice for Hamilton!
That's why Max is only a 2-time world champion.
Oh. Anyway, let's move on to the questions.
No, I'm just saying he's only a 2-time world champion.
Okay.
It's like Schumacher's a 6-time world champion.
What?
Because he crashes into people for his first.
Yeah.
Just saying he's a dirty driver.
Now that is bringing it back for a debate. Everyone forgot about that.
Nope.
I bet most F1 fans don't even know what you're talking about.
This is why Lewis Hamilton's the GOAT.
He is the GOAT. Okay, will there be a first-time winner?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Lando Norris.
It's got to be. Has to be.
Easier.
Has to.
Hopefully this year comes. Like, he should have had one by now.
Yeah. He should have won Russia 2021.
Hey.
He should have.
What? He didn't.
Yeah, because he's a mong and decided to stay out and dry tyres. Surprise performance. Surprise good performance. Who have you gone with? I think mine's fairly obvious, but yours maybe not.
Logan.
No, yours is very obvious. Okay, right.
Super Logan.
Super Logan. Shut up. I've gone with Yuki Tsunoda.
Yeah, well, I thought, I knew that was coming.
Yeah. Best race?
I've gone with Vegas again.
I knew you'd go with Vegas again.
But
I'm not mad about it.
That race was so good for me last year. Just watching it, it was the one race, it stuck with me. You know when a race sticks with you?
Yeah.
It had me on the edge the whole time.
I can't remember the last race that stuck with me. Probably Britain.
Did any race stick with you this year?
No. Britain 2022.
Yeah, that was good. But
that one stuck with me.
But then I feel like that stuck with everyone for the through goes Hamilton.
That's why it stuck with me.
But there was no moment of commentary or anything that's made it stick with me, Vegas. It was just the pure racing, and I haven't had that in a long time.
Yeah.
I think the last time I had that was that wet race at Hockenheim.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was the last race that had me gripped.
The thing is, it's so hard to come by these races.
It is.
But
I hope Vegas can throw it up again, because it's a track where car performance kind of just goes out the window from the whole season, and anything can happen. Because it's a street, it's not exactly narrow, it's got good overtaking places, and it's just effective.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it.
Fair enough.
What about you? Any race?
I've also gone with an American race. I think
Texas.
Austin, Texas will be a good
It's
one.
always a good race.
I think it'll be a good one this year because it's always a good race anyway, but if the cars are close, I think we'll have a...
If the cars are close in performance, it's a Hamilton winner.
I think it'll be a great race between Hamilton, Lando and Max. I really could see it. A three-way battle for the lead, I think.
I can see that.
You can see it, can't you?
Yeah.
So that's why I put given my driver standings, I was like, Texas will be a good year. This will be a good year for Texas.
I think Texas is a good year, good race every year though.
I
love Texas.
It's even when there's bad races there, it's still a good race.
Yeah, like
comparatively.
Its bad races are other places' good race.
Yeah. Yeah. Surprise podium and our last question prediction of the episode.
What have you gone with? I'm intrigued.
See, you don't know who I've gone with. Who have you gone with?
Do you know who I've gone with?
No, don't say Logan Sargent.
No, I haven't gone with I haven't gone with Logan, don't worry. I've gone with... We're going to have a return of Valtteri Bottas.
Oh, that's a left shout.
Yes.
Valtteri Bottas. You think a return to form for the Finnish driver?
No, I just think we're going to have an absolutely fucked race at some point this year.
What, another Netherlands wet last year, but Max doesn't finish first?
Yeah, I think it's just... I hope Hamilton goes to the Netherlands and just spanks Max. Come on.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, anyway.
Alright.
No, I think we're going to have a race where it's just chaos.
Yeah.
And I think Bottas is just going to navigate his way through. I think he's got the experience, the prowess to just...
the prowess!
coast that car to a third place.
Is this the race where Gasly wins?
Yeah. Hey, yo. My podium is going to be... This is going to happen at...
Las Vegas.
I'm going to select a race.
Go on then.
It's going to happen at...
Go on then.
I'm just going to go through it in my head. All the races. Brazil.
Right.
This year.
Right.
Gasly first.
Yep.
Hamilton second.
Yep.
Bottas third.
All right. Okay.
Max DNF'd.
All right. We'll see about that.
I think it's going to be a three-way crash down into the fourth corner after the straight.
Yeah. Between
Max, Norris, and Charles.
Right. Okay. We'll see about that.
Everyone wants that.
It'd be a good race. I've gone with Alexander Albon.
No, fantastic.
What? You like Albon? I think you'll snag a third place.
I don't like Albon.
What?
No, I don't like Albon.
Why?
I think he's the...
He's a lovely bloke.
Okay. Fair enough, he's a lovely bloke. I don't care if he's a lovely bloke. He's not my mate, is he?
Poor
But...
Albon.
No, isn't. I don't hate the guy.
Yeah.
I don't not like the guy. I just don't like the guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got no feelings on
Oh, you got no affiliation.
I just don't care, to be honest.
Alright. I'm going to say Alex Albon. I think he'll snag a podium.
No.
A Monaco or
No.
or you know.
No.
I think he will.
Monaco.
Well, I don't know. You know, if he gets he gets the strategy right, there's a safety car. If he qualifies fine, I think, you know, he's got a good chance of being in the mix, hasn't he? Or a crazy race. I think if there's a crazy race, I think Albon will pick up the pieces, personally. But anyway, that's
Gasoline
it for
Bottas on a podium. Gotta love it.
No. That's it for our 2024 Drivers Constructors predictions for the upcoming season. Obviously, these are pre-testing, so we'll be doing post-testing ones.
3 weeks we'll be doing.
Doing some more based on testing.
Yeah, and it's still gonna be a Hamilton.
Yeah, you're gonna even if
Championship.
Mercedes are like last, you're gonna be like, Hamilton's gonna win.
Sandbagging, innit? Sandbagging.
I'll sandbag you.
Now, what does that even mean?
Who knows? Who knows what it means? You'll have to subscribe to our OnlyFans to find out. Either way, we'll catch you again. Yeah, thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure again. Yeah.
Like, subscribe,
Follow
It's
our
gonna-
Instagram page and TikTok.
And it's going to start getting interesting now because we're getting more and closer into 2024.
We've just been sat here talking for the last 3 weeks, but we're actually going to get videos and
It's going
Into
to
the
be a bit more
streams
of a talking next week, isn't it? But then, week after that, first load of car reveals come out.
yeah, we'll be discussing.
That's going to be fun.
And getting them going.
Yeah.
But that being said, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in a bit.